Chat, we're here. Let's get it.
I'm living life on the sunny side. Yo, I'm gonna run this up tonight. I can't believe really all your lies, and I can see it always in your eyes. You can't fool me with the bullshit. That ain't family, it's nuisance. You can't handle me, it's groovy. I ain't a can of Peter stew shit. You got me fucked up really all the time. Shit gets depression, lose the grind. Yeah, feel the love, confessing just on my mind. It ain't whiskey or the wine, it's just aging with the times. Like, we cruising on the west side. I'm hustling to get right. Hash and pound is getting us these looks. It's cherry, apple, lemon, candy, kush.
It's potent.
We're cruising on the west side. Hustling to get right. Hash and pound is getting us these looks. It's cherry, apple, lemon, candy, kush.
It's potent.
I'm out here just to get mine. Moving money, it's the fifth time. Feeling funky how we get by. It's getting ugly seeing one side. What you doing when you lying to their face, man? Folks will act like you never told them and then them things change. My whole team's of sharks known to make waves. You ain't holding down the scene, running fake ways. Who are you to speak on? The team or even me, dog. The sequence can't be bought. This ain't a plate for you to eat on. Up and down just like a seesaw. You know I worked it through seesaw. Been a goat in the scene, y'all. Smoke this shit, what's this weed called? Chill. We cruising on the west side. We hustling to get right. Hash and pound is getting us these looks. It's cherry, apple, lemon, candy, kush.
It's potent.
We're cruising on the west side. Hustling to get right. Hash and pound is getting us these looks. It's cherry, apple, lemon, candy, kush.
It's potent.
See the glass half empty, I see it full. 110 proof, flyer than Grey Goose. Champagne taste on beer budget, the same fools. Talking that lame shit, thinking it's so cool. Drinking so much, thinking you looking like who you.
lost in my thoughts. 6 a.m. got here fast. Shit, life's been quiet. I need the problems back. Back to 8 a.m. You know I'm up and at 'em. Not trying to love myself when she loves my fucking habits. Funneling life, there's no way you started past it. It's 1780 every night when I'm running rampant. Who couldn't get better when they barely getting past it? Most of these folks came and gone, but they never lasted. Who am I to talk, bitch? I really failed plenty, but I would give a shirt off my back if I had any. I'm in the prison, I'm in the jail, just to get me back to the old me. That was never the deal. Take it back to the OGs where they never get killed. Betty get chilled and write out the rest of the will. Anytime that I'm jumping in the studio, about to light up. Gonna need a few more bottles before the night's up.
I'm too drunk for this love wasted. I'm emotional, faded. I'm too drunk for this love wasted. Think I've had enough for the whole night. I'm too drunk for this love wasted.
Everybody got choices. I'm not feeling being toyed with. People acting flamboyant. All excuses get annoying. Yeah, yeah. Everybody got choices. I'm not feeling being toyed with. People acting flamboyant. Cause everybody got choices. Yeah, yeah. I said I struggled with enough drama, and it had me by the balls. I lost my mom last December, had my back against the wall. Who am I this anymore? Lately I ain't feeling lost, and people hit my line all day. I ain't picking up the calls. I'm feeling like everyone against me is not the case, and everyone always got problems and just a lot to say. Had some folks from the past that would never change, so naturally they mad at me just when I broke away. I can't move, man, this shit's so toxic. Got me caught in really just all of this nonsense, ain't getting me nowhere. Now I'm stuck with they losses. Cold hearted, blue eyes, dark soul, the deep wild, and it's okay. Your heart's right the way your past shows. People who were negative, yeah, I'm way past those. All I wanted to see my friends just with a cash roll, but they ain't friends, they just thinking I'm an asshole. Everybody got choices. I'm not feeling being toyed with. People acting flamboyant. All excuses get annoying. Yeah, yeah. Everybody got choices. I'm not feeling being toyed with. People acting flamboyant. Cause everybody got choices. Yeah, yeah.
You have to be the hero of your own story, and you can do that. 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day. Gotta be those days you push through, and they're probably gonna be more numerous than the days you don't. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline I get things done. Write down everything you want to do. This is what I want you to do. Write down what you would like to fix about your life. And then if you're 30 pounds overweight, you want to lose 30 pounds? Do it the right way. Go start eating vegetables, monitor your calories, write down what you eat, exercise every day, force yourself to do it. The brain is the general, the troops of the body, and you get up and you do it. And then you get to write it down. Our bodies, for whatever reason, most people,
today.
Yo, whoa, 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 whoa. Let me turn on my camera. My bad, y'all. Whoa, yo, what up, everyone? Welcome. Be Well Wednesday, 3/9/22. How are you? How's everything going on your guys' end there in the YouTube space, the world, with all the crazy stuff going on and social media raging and things happening? There's a lot going on in the world, and we just have to have an understanding that people don't have the same acts of kindness as maybe some of us grew up with compared to the newer generation. So, I'm just happy to be here, and I'm happy to be here with the whole panel of people that are just super informational, helpful, friends, community based. If your morale's down, it's getting brought up. These are people that you want to have around you, and this is something that we thrive here in this community with. I can't feel blessed enough over everything. I just scarfed down dinner just as those 3 songs played. Thank God. I felt like I was withering away, but I feel better now. But with that being said, I just wanted to welcome you guys, tell you I love you. I hope all is well on your end, and if it's not, our door is always open to speak about anything that you want, whether it's here or offline. It doesn't make a difference. We're here for you. And I'm here joined, of course, with my man Big BE the third. Let's get some. Hold on, I know I got some sound effects in this bitch. Let's get some claps for my boy.
Appreciate that. I like that. Yeah, much love to Absurd, and for those in the panel and for those watching the show this evening. Yeah, we gotta definitely have some more sound bites. I love that right there. We gotta incorporate that more for sure. Definitely on the Be Well, Here we are today once again. What is this, episode 4 of Be Well Wednesday? Yeah, episode 4. It's a blessing. I know this is something that we worked for a while, and for it to finally happen, it all came together, smoother than I thought. And so I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be here to have the opportunity to speak, and at the same time, improving my own.
I apologize to the
mental
chat.
health.
Wanted to make sure we were all ready to go.
Being able to make sure that while I'm trying to help those facing poor mental health situations or just tough situations in life in general, it's iron sharpens iron. We're here to help each other. And that's really the tone, and exactly what I'm going to talk about is being better to each other, being a better human being as a society, humanity, being kind to each other. I think we're losing track of that significantly. It's evident with everything that is going on, from the very, very top of globally all the way to locally. And it's something that if we can't change it directly or make an impact directly on a global level, let's start at a local level. Let's start within ourselves. Let's start within our own household, our own community, city, so on and so forth. And it'll just be a positive domino effect. I like to say, be kind, rewind. It goes back to, and definitely that phrase shows my age. But years ago when you used to rent movies, you used to go to a video store, and after you watched the movie, it was just courteous to rewind the movie once you were done. Okay? And if you didn't, they charged you a couple extra dollars if you didn't rewind the video. But it was just courteous to rewind it for the next person who was going to rent that video. And it was almost like paying it forward or just reciprocating that gesture. And, be kind and rewind. So I feel like we apply that to our everyday lives and society, is just be kind and rewind as like a metaphor. And I really think that if we got back to the basics and the fundamentals of being a decent and great, good human being, individual, whatever you want to say or call it, just as long as it's bringing positivity, Because at the end of the day, whether you have kids or you have nephews or you just have people watching you in general that might be looking up to you without you knowing that they are looking up to you, you really are setting an example, and only you can define yourself. So, we're given an opportunity to make mistakes, but then are we going to correct them? You know? So I know I have a lot to talk about, and I want to touch on a lot of things. But like I said, going back to the basics, I feel like metaphorically, we're always in a rush for no reason, right? Like in traffic, I don't know if you've ever been in traffic and somebody just cuts in front of you out of nowhere in a hurry. And it's like, look, we just came to the same stoplight. Like, why are you in a rush to go nowhere? And I really feel that is what we're experiencing right now, is that we're all in a rush to go nowhere. And it's something that trickles down and it shows, and it exemplifies in a negative way. And I feel it's something that we have an opportunity to break that. Real quick, I can hear somebody's background noise right now. Could we go ahead and mute that? Blurry face, thank you. We got to be able to stop that and to keep that from perpetuating, to stop that stigma and that cycle, and to put our own best foot forward, because we can't, I wouldn't have been able to done this 3 or 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to have done this. I was trying to help myself out first, and I was working on myself, and I still work on myself. This is a part of working on myself, okay? Now I feel comfortable enough, and I'm blessed to have the opportunity, to have the platform, and to have the time to be able to sit here and dedicate and donate my time and volunteer my time for everyone here and myself, because at the same time it helps me out and it works on my mental health. Life happens to us every day, all of us. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful. It happens, and we're not aware of that when certain things happen. It really speaks volumes when you're going through your daily routine, and if you just catch yourself like taking stuff out on people unintentionally, or if you catch people taking stuff out on you, or giving you a certain tone or direction or vibe or mood. And generally our human instinct or reaction is like a survival, is to match that energy, even if it's in a vulgar or just, there's no need to stoop to that level, right? So, it's we react that way. And there's plenty of times where somebody's came at me out of pocket, and I've matched that energy, and then I kick myself in the ass afterwards, because I'm like, man, like, I know I'm better than that. It was unnecessary. I didn't need to react that way. But it's human instinct to have a reaction. Just like when you touch something hot, there's going to be a reaction, whether it's put your finger in your mouth, shake your hand, cry, whatever it is, run it under water, like there's a reaction, there is no perfect reaction, and it's okay to have the incorrect reaction, in my opinion.
Let me get some hearts in the chat.
Perfect. And every day that we're giving to open our eyes, it's another opportunity to fail, succeed, give it a try. Look at everything that has been going on. Let's start with the pandemic, and then let's fast forward to the war we have right now. Forget the politics. There are lives, innocent lives, being taken out, getting lost. Women, children, men, whether they're involved directly, indirectly, without choice. Without choice. Imagine just being told right now, like, look, you gotta go fight. We're not gonna tell you why. Here's a gun. Go over there, go kill them or be killed, right? There's just a lot going on. And we are spoiled as Americans, being in the United States soil, we are spoiled to not have to endure what they are going through. Last week I spoke about it. And I know we weren't able to get out what we wanted to get out, but you have to really be thankful for what you have. Somebody else's life is always worse. Not to take away from your feelings or your emotion and how you feel about a certain situation. Not to take away from you or that. You know, you're allowed to feel the way you feel and express the way you feel. I hope so. I hope we all are able to express ourselves, because a lot of us aren't. You know, and this is my way of expressing myself, and this is Absurd's way of expressing himself, and us as a collective is expressing ourselves. I just know that we're here for a higher purpose, and the longer we're here, we're able to discover that. Me personally, real quick, the last 4 years has been a roller coaster, good and bad. But for the most part, I'm here. I'm alive, healthy, I have a roof over my head, my kids are healthy. I really have no complaints. Life happens, it sucks, things happen. But if I'm not physically harmed to a point to where I'm altered or no longer here, I'm winning. And we really gotta be thankful for those losses, those wins, those small wins. And when those losses happen, the small wins are gonna stand out and become bigger wins than the small losses. I had an opportunity to speak to somebody today, and it had nothing to do with can't even get my words out. It had nothing to do with what the initial conversation was supposed to be about. And it ended up turning out that I had information shared to me of a story of somebody's hardship and tragedy. And they were completely comfortable with telling me that without even interruption, without any awkwardness of, I don't know why I'm telling you this. None of that. It was like we've known each other for years. And this individual shared this story, and it was very tragic. Just because it was, we all go through tragedy, but when you hear somebody else's tragedy in succession, and they're telling you this because they're hurt, and they feel like you're safe enough to confide in, like, I was choked up the whole time. They didn't even know it. Like, I was quiet because I respected what they were explaining to me and telling me, and I was quiet because I was holding my emotions in. And I even told this person, you know, we all question like what the purpose of life is. And I think I know what my purpose is. I think it's clear. I mean, I'm right here right now. I could be doing something totally out of pocket. It just means nothing. I'm trying to make a difference. I'm about that life because I'm a student of life. I'm a warrior of life. I'm a survivor of life, and I want to keep going. You know, I want to keep going. I have a brand new lust for life, and I want to share that with those around me, close to me, those who ride with me on a daily. You know, those who, you know, I can't even, the list goes on. So hearing this story and hearing the gravity, magnitude of the tragedy they experienced, it jaded them. It made them give up on humanity and society and say, if people could sit there and watch something to where a person loses their life and another person gets assaulted, rather than lend a helping hand and just start putting phones out and recording. I mean, in my other line of profession, I'm a first responder for certain issues and certain things, and there's people that are, you know, but I'm not going to put my life on the line for my job. They don't pay me enough. You know, my family and my life means more than that. But when does it cross the line? When you're like, you know what? Fuck this. That's another human being right there. You know, shit's happening. Like, you gotta try to help somehow, some way. You know, like you think about the people, you know, that lost their lives in 9/11 on the airplane, and people like stepped up and was like, fuck that, we're gonna try to take these terrorists down. Like, we're gonna go out fighting, you know, because that's our mentality, is to fight, that survival, to fight. And to sit there and watch somebody lose their life and sit there and watch another person get assaulted and just post pictures and video, and it's terrible. It was terrible to hear. And I felt for that person tremendously. And then now that person who was assaulted feels like it's their fault. Not just because of going through that experience and having like that survivor's remorse, you know, but the family of the individual who lost their lives and the friends of that individual who lost their lives blaming the other individual who survived. It's fucking terrible. Like, where's the compassion? Like I said, back to basics, like, and the fundamentals of life. Like, where is the compassion and caring and selflessness? We lose track of that shit because of social media, popular belief, wanting to be cool, fucking clout chasing, wanting to stay relevant. You know, staying relevant to me is fucking staying alive and taking care of your priorities. And, you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect and everybody in here is not perfect, but you know what? If we give it a good fucking try and set a decent example, when you look back and you're like, you know what? He was kind of an asshole. You know, he wasn't that funny or whatever the fact, but you know what? They meant well. And they were about that life and they tried. That's the shit that I fuck with. You know? Like, humanity. Like, it sucks. It really does. To hear a story like that and people just stand by and not do anything, it's terrible. And that weighs in. That affects so many people's mental health. That individual right now is going through so much. A, because yes, they survived. And B, because they lost somebody that they loved. C, because now they're being blamed. So now what does that do to them? That makes them not even want to be here no more. They want to die. They want to crawl up. They don't want to exist. They don't want to work. They don't want to go back home. They don't want to do anything. And it affects the rest of the family because then now that family is worried about that person. Are they going to take their life, you know? And shame on those people for making them feel that way. Because that's not the fact. That's not what happened. If you want to find a way to repay the person that's no longer here, live for them. Live for them. That's what I've been trying to do. I have people on my right hand, Slap, and Tori. And Tori, Jarrell Miles, he lost his life at 19 years old. He was my best friend. I was a couple years older than him. And he lost his life in a car wreck. He was a very talented basketball player. He was talented on the microphone. He had a lust for fashion. He was an amazing person, but he was also flawed and he made mistakes. But that did not justify his death and him not being here anymore. Other friends Slap, Leah Lang Lee. He was murdered. Him and another young man were murdered for no reason. And I try to live for them. Rest in peace, Derek Bateman, Heineken, Big D. You know, I try to live for all of my friends and my family who have died. You know, when I tried to take my own life in 2017, I thought about it afterward. I was like, damn, I need to live for myself and for those who aren't here anymore. So if you're feeling guilt and you're feeling like you can't climb out of that hole, you're already at the bottom and you don't deserve to be there. But if you're at the bottom, you've already touched it, let's come up. There's light at the end of the tunnel. There's light up there. You know, live for that person, live for those people. Because you have the opportunity to live. There's so many people that have been wiped out across the world, amongst other things, the pandemic. You know, there's people dying right now. I learned when I was young, every 15 minutes, right, somebody dies in a DUI-related car crash. But yet we promote alcohol and beer on 4th of July and holidays and Memorial Day and sporting events. And it's acceptable. It's okay. It's endorsed. You know, it's pick and choose. Everything that we're provided is an instrument of death. Drugs, alcohol, tobacco, a vehicle, whatever, you know, food, anything and everything is an instrument of death. We all die. Everything that we experience in our lives is to consume our thoughts in our mind that we do die. So we have to live. If you fear of dying, that's great. You should fear of dying because it should make you want to live. It's done that to me. I kick myself in the ass with that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, life happens to us all every day. Death is certain, life is not. Let's just be real. So if you're alive right now and you're watching this and you're able to make it through this day, to make it through this week, make it through this month, make it through this year so far, let's keep living. You matter. You're loved. You just got to make sure that you're around the right people. That's why we're here. We have, I don't know, there's only 3 people in here that I know personally from real life. Everybody else in our Discord community, never met them in my life. Now, some of them I've never even met them in person yet. But we get on here every day and we talk to each other like we've been family for years. And it's a great thing. And we argue with each other and we talk shit to each other and we tease each other. And that's a part of life. There's no censorship amongst each other because that's how we make each other better. There's different flavors and vibes and aromas and you name it, plethoras, versions. You know, that's, we make each other better. We learn from each other. And when you don't learn, you're still learning. You know, it's okay to separate yourself from certain people because they're not affecting your life in a positive manner. It's okay. It's okay to remove yourself from people's lives because you feel like, you know, this just isn't working out. This just affects my mental health. It affects me physically. It doesn't make me happy. It's okay to eliminate those factors in your life for the good. But don't eliminate yourself because you do matter. Now, that's why we're here. You know, we take an hour. I mean, I try to take as much time as possible, but for everybody else, we take an hour one day a week to be here for you guys, to talk about some issues and some things and to bring to light and hopefully relate and help remediate and give each other advice and make each other better. You know, iron sharpens iron. It really does. You know, we do play our part and we play our role in society. We really are a bunch of veins and arteries pumping and moving and supporting. We all play a key role to make this world go around. All of our jobs, whatever we do. You make tires, you make food, you make drinks, you make clothes, you make vehicles, whatever, you make houses. We're all playing a key role to humanity. And you have to believe that things are going to
Technical
happen.
difficulties,
Put in
y'all.
the time
Should
and
be
effort
back
and
right
work,
now.
because it does with anything
Back
else.
already.
Apply that. It took me a long time to understand that, and I'm still learning every day. I'll be the first to admit it. There was times where I wasn't driven. I was lazy. I was negative. But I was able to work on that, and here I am today. And I'm still flawed, and I'm still not perfect, and it's still okay. You know, I have some notes here. I want to make sure that I don't contribute to anybody's mental health in a poor way. If I do and I feel that way, I try to remove myself from that situation or take a time out or give it some space, give it some room, right? Because we sometimes intensify it without even realizing it, you know? So I just want to make sure that us as a whole, humanity, people here in the community, locally, globally, we do better as humans, and we're kinder to one another, because we're all just trying to do our best, and we're all trying to help each other out for the most part. You know, it's like going to a grocery store or going to a fast food restaurant, and taking out your day on the workers. You know what I'm saying? It's not, they didn't cause your bad day, or vice versa. Like, if they take out their bad day on you, just still go about your business. You know, oh, they're being rude to you. Okay, yeah, I'm still taking number one, or hey, you know, debit or credit, or I want plastic or paper. You know, of course, we want to react and match that energy, but I've tried the other way. I know the other way before, from reacting and being loud, and that shit sucks. But doing it the other way and just not getting a big reaction and just going about your business and just letting them take out whatever they need to take out, because they're going to think about it afterwards. The next time they see you, they're going to apologize, because that's, you know, that's the human factor. And if not, then hey, so be it. I won't go on that line no more. I won't go to that restaurant no more. There's no need to. You know, it's a blessing in disguise. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the panel. I know I got Mehdi in here as well. Mehdi, go ahead and off to you, but you know, just once again, you know, be kind and rewind. All right, thank you.
Yeah, like honestly, we should be kind to everybody, obviously. Like there's some instances like in the fast food business where the customer is so rude to the person just for them doing their job. Like, you know, what if you're in that situation? You wouldn't want people fucking talking shit to you like that, you know? Just everybody has a bad day. If they're messing up, being quiet, just trying to do the job, let them be. Because we all know, we all have those days, you know? And
Absolutely.
I can't stand people that do that. For an instance, I went to Texas a couple weeks ago, and I was at Sonic with my windows down, chilling with my uncle, and some lady pulls up, and the guy was being nice to her, you know, asking her politely, you know, what else would you like? Is that it? And she goes, well, you don't have to be so rude. You should let me finish, and I'll tell you what I want. I thought to myself, I'm like, man, let that kid do his job. Let him be. No need to beat him up even more. And she kept going on and on. And then they had the server come up to her, and she started going off on her too. And the lady was like, ma'am, I'm just trying to do my job. Please don't make it more difficult on me. You know, you're not the only person that does this, so they deal with it throughout the whole day, throughout their whole shift. You know, what is it to, you know, be nice to them, have a nice conversation, you know? It's always
Why
good
would
if
you
you
want to
can,
mess with? Why would you want to mess with somebody who's serving you and preparing your food anyway? Though, why would you want to be rude to
right?
those people anyway?
That's the people you want to be nice to. Maybe they throw in a little extra, you know, some chicken nuggets or something. A
Like the
little,
movie Waiting.
yep,
Hey, it
extra
gets
season.
like that.
Yeah, I would, you know, I try to be kind to everybody. You know, we all have different backgrounds, so, you know, try not to judge or like classify people.
Yeah, like we don't try to classify people, but like we're constantly classified eventually, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's a classification and it's a division. So like for example, the United States of America. You remember in history when our teachers would tell us, united we stand, divided we fall. If we're united, why do we have to choose sides? And why do we have to choose colors? Red against blue. It's pretty significant and reminiscent of gangs, right? Gang colors, right?
Yep.
Red against blue. So we have a divide because of political belief and sides. And then every race and different background geographically has their own belief and religion. But then for some reason, we argue with each other about our religion. It's like you drink Coke, he drinks Pepsi, this person drinks Sprite. And it's like you guys all arguing about what is better. And it's like, it's better to me. It's my choice. And like, think about that. Like, if we replaced politics and religion with normal, everyday, stupid shit to argue about, it sounds the same. Like, I know that all of us in here, you know, that work and we pay taxes. Where do those taxes really go? I mean, I would love to have an itemized pay stub of where my gross earnings and net and insurance and medical and state and federal, where's it really going? Because that's another ingredient on affecting people's mental health is debt and money and working to live check to check. And then here we are with gas prices. Gas prices more than minimum wage in some places. I mean, come on, y'all. Like, this isn't us doing this. It's bad enough that we have just mental health shit that happens to us already. But then, like, there's more and more and more. Where are we at right now? How does that make you feel? I'm asking you guys, how does that make you feel? Everybody in here right now, how does that make you feel?
It makes me kind of mad though, honestly. Like, if in other countries the government helps its people, it builds their strength as a whole, and we're here just always against each other. We fight each other more than we fight other people.
Why is that?
Money.
Right?
It's always money.
You know what's crazy is I had a gentleman who was misplaced, aka homeless. I don't like saying homeless, but he was misplaced and some hardships and was living in the streets. And I heard him talking to somebody, and I was like, "Hold on," I heard him speaking. I went over there. I was like, "Hey, OG, how you doing? You know, what were you talking about?" And he was like, "The dollar bill is a Federal Reserve note. It's a IOU." He's like, "We don't own this. This is exchange, currency exchange. We exchange it. We don't determine the value. We just continue the circulation and the flow." And I was like, "Whoa, OG, like I wasn't expecting that. Thank you." But yeah, it's just a piece of paper that came from a tree and is just manufactured with some fibers, with some ink, a president, and then a value put on it. I don't know. I know that we all work hard and we all struggle and we've lived check to check, or we still live check to check. We own homes, we don't own homes, we rent homes, rent apartments, facing homelessness, eviction, whatever the case may be. We're given the bare minimum, and it affects us beyond. Like where do we have time to breathe? You know, like imagine like They take money out of your taxes or out of your paycheck for medical. Okay, and let's just say you've never been in a hospital 10 years. But over the 10-year span, they've taken over $1 million. And then you finally go to the hospital for something that you need to happen, you know, a surgery or whatever it is, right? And they're like $50,000. And it's just like, I'm in debt. There's no way I can pay that. Oh my God. What am I going to do? I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose this. Like, why do they do that to us? Why are we put in that position or that situation? Can it be like, you know what? You haven't been to the hospital or the doctors in this many years. You're good. We're going to take care of you. You know, I still have a hard time accepting the fact that we spend 12 years of school from elementary to high school to get told that 4 years is what counts. You got to pay money for those 4 years because that's what gets you ready for life. They had 12 years to prepare us for life because we become an adult at the end of high school. And we're told that, no, you got to go to college to get a job, to succeed, and to do this and to do that. I didn't go to college. I didn't go to JC, UC, none of that. And I've worked in jobs, and I still work in jobs that require bachelor's degrees and mandatory college. Hands-on experience, initiative, selflessness. It's kind of the same thing as being a decent human being. It's the same thing. Taking initiative to help, having random acts of kindness, positive gestures. It's the same thing. It's inclusive, in my opinion. And here we are. You know what I'm saying? Just more and more ingredients to affect our mental health. So how do we weather these storms? We still do it, right? But when is enough going to be enough? When are we going to stop choosing sides and just being like, look, can we just have an individual really represent us and really carry out initiatives and plans and laws? Like, let's get down to the basics. That's really what it is. Let's get down to the basics. Let's get down to the fundamentals because we lose track of those things. And if we start playing our part more and adding to that, everybody else is just going to follow suit. Lead by example. You know, I'm so happy to fucking share this. 2 weeks ago when I had my boy, I get my boys Friday, co-parenting 101. And I don't eat fast food or meat or dairy products or anything. I'm plant-based vegan. And they want to talk about after we went bowling. Yeah, what do you guys want? Bean burritos, quesadillas? They ran it up, right? And my older son Eli goes, let's pay for the car behind us, Dad. I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm paying for the car behind us. Clayton's like, yeah, let's do it. My other son Clayton's like, yeah. I was like, Clayton, do you understand the importance of what Eli, your brother's talking about? He was like, yeah, it's doing a good deed. And I was like, I swear to you guys, man, I got choked up when my 8-year-old and my 11-year-old know about good deeds and positivity and paying it forward. I was so happy because it let me know that I'm doing my part as a father and as a human being. And they're doing their part as preparation of being fixtures in this world, in this society. So I was super proud of that moment. And we paid it forward. We paid for the people behind us. And they looked in the mirrors, and Clayton was like looking behind in the car, and I was looking in the rearview mirror, and they were like, what? They paid for us? Really? Yes, really. And we saw their smiles, and that was dope. And I didn't need to record it. I didn't need to pull my phone out and be like, hey, we just paid for these people. You know, there's times where I see that, look, if you record something of doing an act of kindness, let's start a trend. But let's not do it because you want to be seen as doing a good deed because it's for some selfishness, you know, for your own personal agenda to make you seem like that's something that you do all the time and it's really just something that you're trying to prove to your ego. That's not cool. Fuck stroking the ego. Let's help each other out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Let's help each other out, man. Let's help each other's mental health. Let's help each other out in life. Let's just be cool, be kind, be well. and be dope human beings to each other. Frank, you in here, Frank?
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, this guy right here, Frank, he's a war veteran. He served our country proudly. Um, he's a great person. He's a great man, amongst many things. And I just want to let him know that, and I want to let you guys know that, because he's faced a lot of things. He's witnessed a lot of things, and we share. All of us in here share something together, and we all share a lot with Frank. Frank, how are you?
you know what? I've actually been doing much better lately. Doing well, actually. Um, you made a lot of great points tonight. Uh, a lot of actually knocking right out of the ballpark points, honestly. Points that I've already been through, points that I've wanted to touch, and points that I wanted to reiterate. You know, uh, First off, let me say how it's been good, man. Let me share some things with you. It's been great. I've been going through custody battle, dealing with my son, my ex, and all the hoopla involved. I finally got to see him, actually get on the camera with him, interact with him, talk to him. He's 6 years old now, so now he knows me. Hey, Daddy Frank. It's Daddy Frank. I want to go out to California. I want to see Daddy Frank in California. Oh, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So now he actually knows me. Okay. Now I have this bond built like overnight. It's 5 years, and it really wasn't by choice. It was a bad relationship. She took off with my son. A lot of people don't know. I don't want to dig too deep into it. He was born in Fresno. The relationship was bad. I left her. She left to Wisconsin. She took my son, took everything, took my earned savings. I mean, she took my life. She made it very difficult to live. After all of that, she piled on top of that full child support, maxed it out. I mean, like you were saying, financial, it really starts to eat at your mental health when you can barely survive. And now, they're taking things from you. Like, okay, well, you can't pay this much into your child support. You're going to only be paying this much when you owe us this much. Okay, well, we're going to take away your privileges. Okay, so then you take away your privileges to drive. And then, it really irritates me that, that the court could even get involved in that kind of situation by not telling me that my son was in a situation. It's mental health is crazy because 1 month you're doing great. You're saying that everything's fine, it's up and to the moon, bro, and then the next thing you know, it's crashing down. And I preach on this every time, bro, and that's equanimity. And that's what it is. That is equanimity. EQUA, NIMITY, equanimity. Yeah, I'd have to check that out. I can pronounce it. Maybe my spelling's not spot on tonight. I'm a little.
Hey, we don't fact check over here. We just make sure we get the message clear and across the board. Let's go.
Right there it is. Equanimity, though. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I'm gonna explain equanimity. That it's more of a Buddhist teaching. Equanimity. It's taking the good with the bad, and that's watering it down. It's understanding that you're going to have good times in your life. Enjoy those good times, and you're going to have some bad times in your life too. And I'm not saying you got to enjoy those bad times, but you got to go through those bad times. You got to. It's part of this. It's all part of the package. Saying, and those good times don't last forever, but those bad times don't last forever either. And if you stick around long enough, and you learn that cycle, you learn how to manage yourself through those tough times. And eventually you get so good at it that, reach one, teach one. Somebody else goes through that tough time. Hey, man, let me show you the way. Or hey, girl, let me show you the way. Either way you want to say it, you learn by experience, man. I mean, everything we knew in this life is an experience, good, bad, and indifferent. And in that experience, like I said, you could teach somebody something. little or small, small all the way to the biggest things, man. It's life is incredible. Life really is incredible. I mean, we could sit here and harp about, oh, everything's bad, or everything's good. It's it's just crazy to me, man.
We're
You know,
here. We're here.
it's crazy. The world's kind of crazy. You don't mind I talk about politics, man. Red versus blue, me versus you. That mentality. Um, it's in time. It's gonna have to die off. In time, it's gonna have to die off. People wonder, why is America such a killing machine? I'm wondering why America hasn't killed its own head yet. I say that we live in this anomaly. I believe I spoke to someone about this earlier. America in its entity the United States of America is born off of genocide in the blood of the indigenous from the nation that lived here. And a lot of people say, oh, well, boo. Okay, yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, that's the history. That is what happened. But let's look at the point. Okay, let's look at the point we're trying to make. We came in and all these people were killed here, and then continuously the British tried to come here. We fought them off with the tea in the harbor. But after that, what would be the need for war? Okay, but we continued these wars, World War I, World War II, the Revolutionary War. I don't want to skip my history here, but these wars continued because they caught on. Like, oh well, this is a way to rubber band affect a society, to let them
Segregation.
divide in politics, and then war and death will bring these people together. And when they'll agree, they'll all come together, and then they'll disagree. It's a giant rubber band effect. It's sad. It's sad, especially from our politicians' point of view. I call out our politicians because our politicians don't fight wars. Our politicians make the rules to send people like myself and you and us poor people. And when I say poor people, I don't take it personally, because to us, to them, we are the poor. We are just pawns for their little fucking game.
Yes.
They won't send themselves. They won't send their sons and their daughters. No, they'll send the people. They'll call on the people. We need you to fight for your nation, the nation that we have. Yada yada. Stars and Stripes and all the dog and pony show, man. It's sad. And you look at Ukraine and everything that's going on over there, and this country is fighting off, and I scoff at this, a world superpower, because Russia's technology is just clearly completely out freaking dated. Their training tactic is completely out freaking dated.
Thank you for mentioning that too, because I know you know. So thank you for saying that.
These Russians are getting steamrolled by farmers, by school teachers, by soup makers, by doctors, by common folk. Which, mind you, sure, maybe these soldiers didn't know about the invasion. Maybe they did know about the invasion. They weren't given food. They weren't given fuel. But they came into another person's country. You know what the rule is. I don't care. If you are a combatant, and you go into somebody else's country. Oh, we didn't know this was war. No, crossing somebody else's country. No, that's war, bud. Like it's no longer a training exercise. You bring your equipment across lines, that's war. Now, I'd like to also ease some minds about Russia. What about the nuclear capabilities of Russia? It's kind of scary to think about, right? Nuclear war. That's a very scary thought. It's a very scary thought. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not about it myself, but if anything of the invasion of the Russians into Ukraine, with the technology that they brought in with their tanks, their trucks, their personnel, if any of that is, like I said, Indian tech. Like, if it shows anything about their technology, I'm wondering if their nuclear capability is even a threat at all.
Capability.
Because I assure you, the U.S., the NATO, the Northern Atlantic Alliance, I assure you, everything there is very much up to date and very much wipe you the fuck out. Like,
It's just
but
terrible
like,
that it's even happening at all right now. Period. That's even.
yeah, I just find it like it's not humorous. It's not humorous. But from my point of view of going through combat, like it's awesome to see Ukraine, the people and their own government standing up and actually fighting. It kind of annoys me to see, a lot of people here, we stand with you, Ukraine. Like, I get it, man. That's a way of supporting. Oh, we should go bomb them. Well, maybe we should, but you know what? Maybe we need to be careful too. But people get that false sense of security, like we can't get invaded too. Okay, if America gets invaded, man, what are you gonna do? What's your plan? A lot of people say, "Oh, I got my plan." No, really, motherfucker. Bombs start falling in your area. What's your plan? Like, everyone has a plan.
movie
Like
Red Dawn.
everyone got a plan until you get punched in the fucking mouth.
Right.
I'm just saying, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you really gonna do? You really have a plan? Because the world is at war on the other side. If it comes this way, what are you gonna do?
Right.
You need to start asking yourself that.
They're doing it right now. There's school teachers and farmers right now holding guns and fighting this war. Are people ready to do that here? But then again, are we? Yeah. But that's something we need to do for each other anyway. You know what I'm saying? We need to stand up for each other and not always just stand up for something that happens on the other side of the country, and then we get on social media and retweet or post on social media like, oh, prayers and this and that. But it's like, that's what I said earlier, like, if you can't help on a global level, what are you doing locally? Whether it's in yourself, your household, your city, what are you doing locally? Because you're not going to be able to do anything globally unless you go out there, you donate, you put yourself in line of fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. What are we to do? So we need to stand up for each other. You know what I'm saying? Before we can stand up for anybody else. That's like making ourselves better before we can make somebody else better. You know?
Yep. Yes. You can't make somebody else better if you're not good yourself. You can only make somebody as good as you are. Strong as your weakest link. But iron will try to come to iron, though. So
I appreciate you, Frank, for speaking up and always sharing your knowledge. And I'm happy that days are better for you and you're able to see your child, and you deserve that. You deserve that on many levels, brother. You deserve your roses, your flowers, your success, the love of your child. All of that, bro. It doesn't take away from the father you've always been just because of the differences between you and your kid's mother. I totally understand that. We know we go through those situations, and all we can do is just continue to do us and continue to put our best foot forward and to stay consistent, right?
You're exactly right. Exactly right. And thank you for having me on tonight. I very much appreciate it. Just
honor, sir.
Right.
Did anybody else want to speak on anything or chime in? If so, you what you can. If not, we'll be concluding. But yeah, I want to thank everybody once again for being here, being on the panel.
Let's go.
The community, the Discord community.
Yo, we appreciate y'all, man. Everybody on the YouTube, bro. Talk.
For those watching on Twitch, We appreciate you all. Like I said, be kind, rewind, be kind to each other. Let's make sure that we be well. Thank you for joining us for week 4 Be Well Wednesday. We'll see you next week. Let's get over the hump. Let's write it out. Be well.